and TDD versus BDD basically. So let me just pull one. So basically, test-driven development is one of the agile practices, uh, which is popular. Okay, so in most of the projects they use test-driven development. So basically, in this, what they do is, so first they are going to write a test, which is going to fail because before development itself they'll start writing tests, and so they will see red coming up in the report, and they'll be sharing that report saying that okay, so basically that okay, so this test is obviously going to fail because there is no implementation, and then they will start working on making the code to work, and then they will start when the test is run, then they will start seeing the green result coming out, which is the pass result, and then they'll start focusing on eliminating redundancy, making the code more reusable and things like that, and then they will continue to see the green result. So this is the practice which is followed in agile projects. Okay, so not all the projects follow this, but some projects have, and so in this case, basically, JUnit can be one of the main candidate which can be used for writing your test. So easily you can have your test written. So first time it is going to be dummy. So you expect it to fail. So you will have one dummy method created, and obviously it is going to fail. And that way, then they will have the actual implementation, and then they will see it working. So having this in place, so it will confirm that for whatever test you have written, the implementation is done properly, and it is 100% working now. So that way you are going to make sure that having the test in place, the implementation is done, and so that will prove that okay, so this is working fine. So this is one of the practice in agile. And now next we will go to the another practice that is called as behavior driven development. This is one more agile practice which is used in projects. So in this uh, practice, basically what is done is mainly the importance is given to the behavior uh, of the feature or of the particular functionality which is there in the project. Okay, so behavior is given more importance. Okay, so they are going to basically do the test around the behavior. Okay, so and basically behaviors are identified using the specifications actually, which are derived by examples. So in the case of BDD, there are mainly three stages we can call it. So first stage is called as discovery, formulation, and automation. So discovery is the first stage. So whenever any agile based projects that starts and they think that they want to follow behavior driven development, in that case the first stage is called as discovery phase. So in this phase, what they will do is there is a team called as user researcher team. So usually they will be doing the research on the project and what exactly is the customer requirement. They may be traveling to the various places to talk to the customers and understand what exactly is the customer requirement, and they will create something in the form of specification which can be called as examples. So those examples will be more concrete in the formulation phase. So discovery is the first stage in which they will have the discussion, they will have the high level idea. In the formulation, they will, based on the understanding they have, they will create various examples uh, to basically write what exactly is the customer requirement and what customer wants. So they will be having some examples defined for that. So those examples will be in the form of English statements, actually English, or I mean normal natural statements. So they will be having the examples defined. So that is the requirement which needs to be achieved, and later it will be automated. Uh, Okay, so and so that this is the complete phase. So discovery, formulation, and automation. So in this behavior-driven development, the one of the main thing that is the outcome of this is you will have a working documentation. So there will be working documentation in place, which would be used by business people as well as it would be used by technical people. So because of this, it will help close gap between business and technical people. So all the people in the project, different parties, will have one documentation to be referred to. That will be in the form of it will not be technical document. It will be a normal natural language document. So it can be in English or any other language. So it will be in that form. So that is the main objective here. So basically, having this document, it will bridge the gap between technical and business people, and also it increases the collaboration. And this also helps, since you are working in agile based project, you will have small iterations and you want to achieve something. So how the requirements are formulated is you will have user stories created based on the example specifications which were derived in formulation phase. So user stories will be created, and user stories will be in the form of that English or natural language. So user stories, and then you will have the implementation, and then you will have that automated. Okay, so this is behavior driven development at high level. And basically, now let's see what exactly is Cucumber. So Cucumber is one of the tool which can basically read the specifications which are in the natural language. So like scenarios or examples it can read, and it can basically validate that whether it is working or not. Okay, so that is what this Cucumber tool can do. Okay, so and this is one of the example to the scenario, like how the natural documentation would look like. Okay, so the documentation will follow some guidelines, that is by using Gherkin language. So Gherkin is one language which is used by Cucumber for it to understand. So the when you're writing the scenarios in Cucumber, so it has to be in a Gherkin language so that Cucumber can understand it. So in the case of Gherkin language, so there are various keywords that are used, like you can see here, feature, scenario, given, when, and then, and things like that. So basically, these are the set of grammar rules that makes the plain structured text enough for Cucumber to understand. So and this text can be stored in a file called as feature file, and you can have various feature files defined, various scenarios defined in a feature file. And these are the different keywords of Gherkin language. So Gherkin is a universal language which is accepted for the BDD, behavior driven development. And these are the various keywords. So we'll be discussing all these keywords, how they are different and where they can be used. So these can be called as main keywords, and there are also secondary keywords like using double quotes, pipe, at the rate sign, and comment. Okay, so having this background, so this is just the introduction. So now we will see how we can have a Cucumber-based project for the automation in the Agile-based project. So when we are working on the Cucumber-based project, what I'll do is I'll create a new project for this, and we are going to create a project. And this time we will create a Gradle project. Okay, so instead of creating Maven project, and in this Gradle, I'm going to say next, and I'm going to give the name as Cucumber underscore BDD. I'm going to call, and then I'll say next, and then I'll say next and finish. Yeah, don't have to change any other settings. Okay, so when it comes to BDD, Cucumber is one of the tool which can be used to work with Ruby, Java, .NET, or Flex-based applications. Suppose you have so mainly this is used. This is one of the popular tool, Cucumber, and similarly other tools that are available are there is a spec flow you might have heard of. So this can be used for .NET platform. So if you are doing the .NET coding, you have .NET automation, .NET based Selenium automation, and in such case you want to use uh, BDD, then you can use spec flow. So spec flow is the name. So this is for the .NET platform. And similarly, there is a Behave for the Python based application. So if you're working on Python, then you can use Behave is the tool for the BDD. And similarly, there is a Jasmine for the JavaScript. So these are some of the popular tools in other programming language which can be used. Okay, so we are going to stick with Cucumber because we are working with Java. Okay, so now let's see what are the dependencies that are required for the Cucumber to work with Cucumber. Okay, so to work with Cucumber, first thing is we have to go to Maven, and here we can search for Cucumber. And you will see here Cucumber Java and Cucumber JVM JUnit. So we will get these two for the time being. So io.cucumber is the main package for this. And if you click on this Cucumber Java, so and select the latest version, we'll focus on Cucumber 6, which is the latest version. And we are going to use Gradle. So I'll use Gradle here. So I'll copy this compile group, whatever is there here, just like in Maven, and then I'll be pasting that in the Cucumber project which is created for the Gradle. So in the case of Gradle based project, so the difference is you will have a build.gradle file just like pom.xml to manage all your dependencies. So Gradle is again, if I have not told before, Gradle is the build management tool just like Maven. So in Maven, how we can manage dependencies, Gradle also can be used to manage, create a project, manage dependencies, and also it can be used for the build management. Okay, so build management we'll see later on. So in this build.gradle file, so we can see it is having some structures like plugin, repositories, and dependencies. So this repository is a section from which it is going to get the dependencies from. So if I say now that I want to get this particular dependency, if I copy this and if I paste it in the dependency section, then it is going to basically pull this dependency from this particular repository. So in actually there are many repositories available. So one of the repositories is JCenter. So this is one of the repository available. So like this, there is a Maven Central. So this is one more popular repository. So maybe there are many more. I'm not sure. I've worked with these two. And also, if you're working on a client-based project, they may not be referring to these directly. They may have their own repository. They want to pull from there instead of pulling from these public repositories. They may want to pull from that. So in such cases, so what you could do is you could define your path from where you want to pull that. So you can say something like this. Okay, so basically here you can give the URL of your client-based uh, server or repository from where you want to pull. So if that is the thing, then we have to do it like this. Okay, so in our case, we are going to give like this. So JCenter is one of the, like as I said, one of the repositories. Similarly, we can also use this Maven Central. You can give both as well. So basically what happens is, so it will first look for this. So if it is present here, it will pull from here. If it is not present here, it will pull from here. So now for the JCenter, if you want to see the repository server, we can go to this. So this is the main website for JCenter from where we can get the repository. Yeah, so here if I search for Cucumber, Okay, so I can see here again here as well. So I can see Cucumber 6.0. So it is available. So almost all the dependencies are available because both are the two different servers. Okay, so even you can use sometimes instead of using this JCenter first, you can use this as well. So basically what this says is first check for the local. So you will have a local repository, right, in your local. So we have seen that the other day, last time. So that there will be M2 folder in your local, and so that is your local, maven local. So from there, if it is present there, you want to pull from there. So it will first check there. If it is not present, it will pull from here. If it is not present, it will pull from here. So these are the various options that can be provided here. So as of now, I think this is fine. So now here we need to provide the dependency with respect to the Cucumber. So I'll provide from here. So you provide from anywhere, it doesn't matter. You provide from Maven or you provide from JCenter, both are finally getting the same library, right? So it doesn't matter. You have to give the correct Gradle dependency here. So we are focusing on 6.1.1. We are getting io.cucumber. And now next we want to get the JUnit. So to get the JUnit, again, I'm going to go back in step, and I can see that it is here. So InfoQux is another package which is different development, and this release is not active currently. So this is the currently active IO Cucumber release from Cucumber from the Cucumber. So this can be taken. So always be very careful when you're selecting the right dependencies. And here I'm going to get this. Okay, so once we have got it, now I can refresh my project after saving. Yeah, so I don't see it coming here still. So what I need to do is, in the case of Gradle, I need to say refresh Gradle project so that it can pull from, yeah, so it can pull. So now we have got the Cucumber ones, and also we have got the Cucumber JUnit. Yeah, we have got all these things. Yeah, Cucumber JUnit as well. Okay. And by default, there is a JUnit uh, implementation which got added here. So which is fine. Okay, so we can just keep it. So these are the default ones which is present in dependencies. Okay, so now we can see that when we have added compile group, so we have added Cucumber Java, and there is a test compile group. So why for the first one it has marked as compile group, and for the second one it has marked as test compile group. So compile group is, so this is mainly for the code if you are writing the writing for the dependencies in main. So then it can be it is falling under scope of compile group. So and if you're writing some test packages, if you're writing some test related to it, that is JUnit, right? So basically test related things we write in SRC test. So that is why it is test compile group. So to understand this better, I think if we see this, yeah, so here, so whatever we have written here in the SRC main Java, that is the main dependency. So for whatever coding you write here, so whatever dependency that is required, that falls under compile group. Okay, and so whatever you write under this SRC test, so usually you'll be writing testng or JUnit. So that will fall under SRC test Java, right? So that is why that will come under the test compile group. Okay, so that is the scoping in dependencies. So now once we have got our dependencies, we are ready with this particular project. So and also we have to make sure that we have some of the plugins required for the Cucumber based project, because we are going to work with the feature file, and also we are going to work with the step definitions. We need to make sure we have them. So I recommend you can have some of the plugins. I might have got it here, I guess. Yeah, I got it here. So first thing is you can get the natural plugin for the Eclipse, which would help you work with basically work with the Gherkin language. Basically, it is the editor, so you can have that installed. And second one that I recommend is you can go for this QAF BDD plugin, so which is very handy to work with the feature files. So if you have these two plugins, I would say it is more than enough to work with the uh, Cucumber based projects. So yeah, so this is the editor I was talking about, QF BDD editor. So but there are other alternatives as well. It is not like this is the only one you have to go for. There are various other Cucumber based plugins. So but ultimately you have to have one to work with. So these are my recommendations. I felt this to be much stable and usable, because in some cases I have seen some plugins are not stable. Okay, so have these plugins, and once you have those plugins, so now your project is ready to be worked with. So after it is ready, so then now we'll start working on feature. So we'll define the feature. So we have this SRC test resources. So this is the place. Here we are going to create a folder called as features. So under this, we are going to create a new feature. Let's call it as yeah. For before that, let's take what can be our application under test for the current discussion. So we can use this phptravels.net website for the current discussion. So in this, for today, we are going to discuss on the login scenario for this. So we are going to click on this, click on login, and we want to enter email, enter password, and we want to click on login. And after we login, it would be logged in successfully. And that is, let us say, that is a scenario we want to implement in Cucumber BDD. Okay, so I'm going to create a feature here, and I'm going to call that as, so first I'm going to say file, and I'm going to keep the file name as PHP login, and I will say finish dot feature. Okay, so we can see it is showing with the green icon. That is because this is from the QAF BDD plugin, and so this is the feature file, and here we can write the feature. So let me just pull this from here. So this is one of the example feature which I'm going to take for the time being. Later on, we'll discuss more in detail how we can write different feature files, how we can write different scenarios and other combinations. But for the time being, we are going to stick to this. So how the feature file looks like is, so it is going to have the feature name, and then it is going to have the scenario name. So once you have defined the scenario, that scenario will have various steps. And so these are the different steps: first step, second step, third, fourth, and fifth. So you can have many number of steps, and it should be following this kind of syntax that is based on Gherkin language. So these are the various keywords. So you can give any statement here, but always it is going to have this given, when, and then, and, like, I mean, like that. So you can't give anything like I close my browser. So I can't write like this now. Because if I write like this, so it will give the syntax error. So so this is not defined in Gherkin. So we have to, if you are defining this step, okay, so then we have to make sure again that is having one of the Gherkin steps, one of the Gherkin keywords defined. Okay, so that is about this scenario. And for this scenario that we have written, these are the various steps, right? So this is the first step. second step, third, fourth, fifth. So now every step that we defined will have to be implemented. So implemented is we have to have that particular uh, code in place, then only we'll be able to execute this scenario. Otherwise, we will not be able to. So for the time being, what I'll do is, sorry, uh, yeah, under this SRC test Java, I'll create one test uh, package and I'll call it as test. And here I'm going to define the class called as runner class. Okay. So first we'll discuss using this runner what all things we can do. So this is the feature file which is defined having some scenarios, and now we have a runner, and in this runner we are going to define using this run with option, just like in JUnit. Okay, so just to share with you, run with the I mean this JUnit works very closely with Cucumber. Okay, so uh, we are using JUnit with Cucumber as of now. Later we'll discuss about TestNG with Cucumber as well. Okay, so and here we are going to give cucumber.class. So this actually is coming from JUnit Cucumber dependency that we defined here. Yeah, this one. So if this is not defined, it would not have allowed you. So these are the two main uh, dependencies which are required for the Cucumber to work, for us to work with Cucumber. Okay, so yeah, so now in this runner, actually we can define various run options. Okay, so let's define some of the run options. So we are going to use Cucumber options, and here we can give the feature name actually. So if I say features equal to, and I need to give the path where my feature is present. Okay, so my feature is present in SRC test resources features. Okay, and then comma. So we can give various options actually. So if you see this here, number options. I'm trying to get the documentation for this. Yeah, let me define something else so that we'll see. Okay, definition. Okay, so for the features that were defined, so that should be the particular implementation, and that implementation should be pointed to some package. Okay, so I'll have one package created here, and I'll call that as step definitions. Okay, and this Cucumber BDD, which is created here, you can see. So this is a sample test which got created when this project was created. Okay, when this Cucumber project, Gradle project was created by default. So this was created. It is not required. You can remove it. So it is just a sample they have created. Okay, so yeah, so this is the main package which I'm going to work with for the Cucumber implementation, Cucumber feature scenarios implementation. So in my runner class, I will define that. So glue is the keyword. Using that glue, we can basically point for all these features, what should be the package that should be looked into for the implementation. So I'm going to say uh, step definitions is the package, right? Yeah. Okay. So we have provided this. So this is the feature name, feature where your feature lies. We are providing. Then we are providing where our implementation lies for the implementation for the features. And then we can give other options as well. Okay, so we can provide yeah, so I'll say plugin equal to. So plugin equal to is the option. So how you want your report to be reporting to be. So anyway, so we'll define that plugin now. So what is a plugin we want? So we'll discuss some of the important plugins that are used. So first plugin that we are going to discuss is with respect to the JSON file. So we are going to give here, sorry, JSON. So Pretty is is the reporting that we need to give here, and then we need to provide here JSON. And basically, so JSON is the format, JSON reporting we want, and we can give the folder name to this. I'll call it as reports slash, and I'll call it as cucumber.json. So now, after adding all this, if I run this particular runner, while running, you will see one more option called as Gradle test. So this we'll explore a little later. As of now, we are using JUnit test, and it is executed. So when it is executing, it is giving the error like undefined step exception. So this particular step is not defined and things like that. And similarly, if I go to the project of this, if I refresh this, I can see there is a reports folder created. And if I just open this cucumber.json, I can see there is a JSON file created basically to show. Actually, for to read the JSON file, we have to use some other plugin in Eclipse. So that is why I got that error. So as of now, I can read it, no problem. So basically, it is showing what exactly is the output of the execution. Okay, so it is saying, so this is the in the JSON format, and it is saying for all of them, it is saying it is skipped. So it is saying undefined. So basically, what it is pointing is, so this the implementation is not in place. That is what it is pointing. Okay, so if we have the implementation is in place, then it would not show undefined or skipped and things like that. Okay, so yeah, so that is about report JSON. Now let's next see in the form of JUnit. So I'll give here JUnit, and I'll have the, in the case of JUnit, it is going to be in XML format. Now I come to the folder and I'll be able to see the XML created. Yeah, so this is just like your JUnit test, right? So it is in the JUnit format, and it says basically, again, this is not defined. So it says this step is not defined, and all these are skipped. Okay, so we can see that. So basically, so these are the various reporting options we are seeing. Okay, so now let's switch back to that previous option, JSON. Similarly, you can have HTML as well. I'll just show that, and then we'll start the implementation part. So HTML, we can give the HTML name. So it will show a report in the form of HTML. Basically, again, it is going to point to the same thing. It is going to say your step is not defined. Yeah, so and things like that. So now if I go to the folder and if I open the HTML, maybe this is not the right place to open. Yeah, so this is how it would show. So this is not defined. Okay, so now the purpose of using the runner is, let's say that you have defined a new feature, new scenario, and by having the runner in place, so what runner can give you is Runner can give us all the step definitions ready-made. So let me just go back to that. So if we go back to runner, and whenever we are running, so you will see this here. So you can see that it is having all the method implementation in place. Scroll down. Yeah, so basically this is how we need to implement. That is what it recommends. So if you are a beginner, so for the scenario that is defined, what we can do is we can have this printed in the console, and we can take these implementations, copy it, and come to the step definitions and create a new class. I will call that as PHP login. Okay, so and then I'll say finish. And for this, if I simply paste this, and I will import using the Cucumber given. Similarly, I need to import all this. Yeah, so now we have the structure of the implementation created, but these are not yet implemented. You can see for every method, so this is a step, this is the annotation in Cucumber, and this is the step that is matching the feature name. In feature, we are whatever step you have defined. So this should be matching with this. And then in this method, basically we are going to have that implementation. But if you see, as of now, since this is dummy that we have got from runner, it is not implemented yet. So it is having pending exception. That is why we got that. Uh, so now if, so this is not implemented yet. So now if I run again, it is going to throw me the same thing because all these methods, right, does not have the implementation yet. So if I run again by going to the runner, if I say run as JUnit test. So this time we have the implementation in place. Okay, but still, even though the implementation is in place, it says it is not defined because you have that pending exception, right? So now instead of this, if I go back to the step definition, PHP login, and if I just comment this line, basically what is the meaning of commenting is I'm going to say that I have implemented these. So if you have implemented these, and if you are running your test, then it is going to be successful. So we expect it to be green. Okay, so I think we need to build this project. So I have provided these steps. Let me just check whether I'm missing anything. Step definition. Let me provide here as well. No, it still says it is undefined. So I'm trying to figure it out why. So I guess it may be due to building of the project. I'll just build this project now. Okay, so once it is done, let me just come to runner and check whether I can execute. Undefined step. User is already on login page is undefined. Yeah, I'm checking whether I have all the right things.
Yeah, actually, Srinivas, I had similar problem also.
Okay.
So there are some dependencies. So I remember. I mean, everything even you implement also still give that error.
Oh, okay.
But it
Okay.
will run properly. Everything will run properly, but it will still give that error.
Okay.
There are some
Yeah.
dependencies. So I remember. Google and got it.
Okay. So I'm thinking actually we have got, as per I know, right? These are the two main dependencies which we require. Apart from that, we don't require anything else.
Actually, there is some version issue. Like if you use lower version,
Oh,
it will work.
okay. Fine. So, and also to be honest, I have not used the Cucumber 6. So in my project, we are using Cucumber 4. So yeah, maybe that could be the issue. So we can try to lower the version. Let's try that. Let me try to lower to, let's see, 4.8. I think 4 is the promising
Yeah, I
version.
think four. I think four was the version usage.
4 is okay, right? So let me try that now. Hopefully that should help because yeah, we don't want to use something which is not stable, right? Yeah. So let
Yeah,
me just.
even I was facing that problem, couldn't figure out. So
Oh, okay.
I saw
Okay.
somewhere in Google that it's version issue.
Okay. Yeah, it's really frustrating sometimes, right? When you get these kind of problems, you'll have to spend hours fixing the problem. So we don't want to end up there. So yeah, I've changed it to 4.8.1, and I think now we have the dependencies pulled. Okay. So now let me run the test, run the runner and see how it test. Oh, now I'm getting different error. Failed to create directory, Cucumber, BDD report, cucumber.html. Okay. So, your Cucumber here. I'll do JSON, sorry. JSON. Okay, I think this time it is fine. Okay, so this, I guess, as Jaidev said, it may be version related issue, but I was hoping that version 6 also will work. If it was working, we could have explored latest version. Anyway, so we for our discussion, we are going to stick to 4.8.1. Okay, so just for you to remember. And if you are trying in some other version, please make sure that if it is not working there, revert back to this version, or so that you will have the same version as what we are discussing. So now this indicates that, so it has basically, okay, so now it says here undefined. So let me see, I think there's something. And now I didn't get the error like undefined exception, but here it shows that undefined throwable step is already, the step is undefined. And if I check the step definition, yeah, we have defined it. Maybe one more build will help. Let me try to build, because sometimes I've seen building will help. Okay, so this will be the build we are going to attempt. And let me just give here some statements. Just want to have one line implemented. Okay, so that we will see something when we run using the runner. Okay. Yeah, so now with this, let me run that test again, runner. Okay, and if I check the console, yeah, it is, I think, still pointing at undefined steps.
Srinivas, try with 4.7.2, and that's what I'm using. And
Okay, let me just try that. Okay, so I'll just refresh my project. Yeah, I think it is built, and let me run it. No, still it shows that there were undefined steps. Okay, let me just check what is the issue. So I'm giving step definitions. Let me try to give this complete thing. I guess usually this will work without. Yeah, so it still says it is undefined. So which is the issue? Which I'm trying to figure out why. So it looks like all other things which is defined is fine, but usually we don't give this one. I'll delete this, the Cucumber default one which got created. Set definitions. Yeah, basically it is still pointing to the same thing. So everywhere it says it is not defined, not defined. So okay, so what we can do is instead of wasting time, so I'll try to figure out why this problem is occurring. So now conceptually, what we can understand is, so if you have implemented this step definition, whatever we have discussed here, so if you have implemented it and if you're running it, you're not supposed to get that error. Okay, so that is the understanding. So and instead of this blank, so we are going to implement with respect to the uh, with respect to the actual implementation. That is what we will do. Okay, so that is what we'll try to have the code here, code written, and later I'll try to figure it out how it can be fixed, and tomorrow we can discuss. So for the implementation part, okay, so in this application, right? So we want to basically follow all these steps, right? User is already on login page, title is, and things like that. So let me just check the features here. Yeah, so I'm going to basically have the pages for that defined. So I have that already created to save time. Let me just get that and I'll just paste it here. Yeah. So we have two pages. One is login page and one is main page. Okay. So for this we need Selenium, right? So I'll have that imported as well. So we are going to use Selenium, Selenium 4. Let me just check. Yeah, Selenium 4 Alpha 6. I think that's fine. So I'm going to take this and I'll just have it defined in the project, and I'll just refresh my project so that it can get the dependency. Okay, we have got the Selenium dependencies and we have defined the pages. Okay, so now after we have defined, now we want to have them implemented in the respective steps. So here I can define. Sorry. Yeah, so we'll get those two pages here, login page and main. So a user is already on the login page. So what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to uh, get the steps so that it is on the main page. So we are supposed to click on this my account drop down and click on login link. So those are the two steps. So let's see. Okay, so this is user is already on the login page, and title of login page is login. So we want to get the title. So to get the title, what I'll do is I'll create a base page here, and so this is the main page class, so which I want to have that inherited in these classes. Okay, so in this class we are going to define the basically we are going to define the main page related methods like public WebDriver. We'll have the WebDriver initialized here as well, and we'll call it as okay. So and here I'll have the method related to the initialize driver, and here we are going to say so for this I'll try to get the code which is available in other instead of again writing all this. Okay, looks fine. So we have to make sure that in the SRC test resources we have that drivers created. Yeah, so I'll have that created here, and I'll add okay. So we have the init driver done here, and after init driver is done, we will also have some of the driver related methods if required, like public string get title, get browser title. Yeah, so basically by defining this base page, what is the use is, so we will be able to inherit all these methods in our respective page classes or test methods. So for example, if I come to this particular page and if I say here extends base page, then I'll be able to use all the methods which are defined. Yeah, so and now let's come back to this step. Yeah, so this is a step, and here our method is we can use any of the method here, main page dot, and yeah, so this is the one. So it will return, and you want to verify whether it is equal to something, we can use result, or we can use normal result. So what is expected here? So after we are in the login page, Okay, so what is the title of this? So this is login, right? Yeah, so this is like a verification step. Yeah, so here I made a mistake. So we have to give assert equals from JUnit, and also it should not be the one which is deprecated. So I need to make sure I use the right assert. So I'll have that assert, and I need to use this org.junit because JUnit framework is deprecated. So yeah, now it is fine. So like this, we will continue. So and so this issue that we have seen, I'll try to resolve, and tomorrow hopefully we should be in a good position to discuss further. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Okay, so we'll resume tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can ask now, or else we'll discuss tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Srinivas.